So I'll kind of end it with this, but essentially, as I move into summer school, by the way, I did great in tennis. We made CIF. I played for the number one string in our second round match, but I got destroyed. That was lame. But partying was my thing, and getting with women was my thing, and watching them hook up with another person, and then that same night I'd be like, screw it, and I'd do the same thing. Like, there was just no control. I had no aspect or vision of where my life was going. It was just about the sensation of lust and partying and just joining a culture of groups where if I didn't go to the next house party, then I'm already going to get left behind because they're going to know about the next party and I won't know where that one is. And so it was trying to culture being a part of something that was really just going to drag me back the entire time. Is it fun to experience these things? Yes. Is it good to let these things change your culture of living and like really consume you? No. There's many times where cops showed up. There's a lot of fights. There's probably a lot of headaches for a lot of parents. I know this because my house party wasn't healthy. At this point, I do remember now. I was hanging out with a buddy who was in jiu-jitsu. Great wrestler, great jiu-jitsu. I think slightly lazy at one point, but eventually maybe started getting more into it. They just didn't really address it as much as others. And I remember thinking, like, if I was in your situation, I would give it 100% and not care about anything but maximizing my talent because obviously it was there. But that's something I realized, like, that doesn't mean I couldn't have put that into a different place of my life. Why am I trying to say that this person isn't doing that with their skill set when I'm not doing anything at all with any of my skill sets except for partying and drinking? And so I think they were going country dancing, and eventually they were the ones, after I rejected them like for a couple years, like, I'm not country dancing. Eventually I was like, all right, I'll go out, and that's what got me into country dancing. I'll get into that later. But yeah, so partying was my thing. And let's see, that's also when Lumi began. So this is when I started, because I just started smoking weed, and so I would sit in the car with my cousins and they'd be like, oh, you smoke weed, like. And so I would sit in the car and smoke, and we talk about movies, TV shows, ways that anime ended, ways that it could have been better, what if we do this and that, create our own ideas in our head. And I went off with that. I never stopped thinking about it. It consumed me, and essentially my story was called The Land of Denjin, because I tried to Google what power was in Japanese. So the Land of Power was the intent, and those stories kept building and building, and I would help them build their stories, and it came so naturally for me to help them or to help me. And freestyling was my thing. I remember everywhere I went, I would freestyle for hours before I went in anywhere, before I went into Disneyland later on in the years, before I went clubbing, before I went to house parties, and I would get my friends to freestyle, and that was just my matter of living.